Hmm. Hello. Good evening. Oh, uh-oh. Hello, everybody. Happy Thankful Thursday and things. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Listen, before I even get into an introduction, let me tell y'all about this massager from Brookstone. Then when I tell you, listen, y'all gonna have to get on board and get with this because this is serious. I mean, it's got heat. It's like getting all kinds of kinks and stuff out. Anyway, let me get ready to get started. Hello, thank you for coming on in. Oh, hey, Auntie B. How you doing, sugar? Girl, you better get one of these massagers from Brookstone. Keep your neck and your back right, honey. My goodness. Yes, you see that? You see that? Oh my goodness. Ooh, yes, Lord. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna stop acting silly. I'm gonna go on ahead and okay, I'll send you the link. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the topic. Okay, so for those of you who do not know me, I am Shawnee, and this is S Dawn Premiere. This is my YouTube channel. This channel is pretty much all about going for your goals, health and wellness, especially for women, and just going for what you want and believing in yourself enough to do it. So I'm gonna stop giving myself a massage right now so I can focus because wow, this feels really good. You can even like press the little heat button to get the heat going, but I'm gonna do that later. All right. Listen, it's a massager from Brookstone. Remember that? What movie was that? Was that Brown Sugar? Was it? It's a massager from Brookstone. Well, anyway, so welcome this evening. I will not belabor the point because I realize it is a little bit late, but this is probably how a lot of my lives are going to be because I do have some work that I do during the day, and I have my wonderful daughters who I'm always entertaining. So a lot of times when I go live, it will probably be in the evenings. So hopefully you are available to tune on in. So tonight I wanted to get into this discussion about self-esteem. Because it was on my heart and it was on my list of topics that I want to talk about this year. And it was so funny because one of my dear girlfriends, she actually mentioned something to me earlier about self-esteem. And so I decided, you know what? That's on my list of things to talk about anyway. Perhaps that's what I need to talk about today. So the title of this live is Self-Esteem is a Choice. And I did write down some notes about this today because there's so much that there's so many things that I think about when when I think about self-esteem. First and foremost, self-esteem, I'll go from the dictionary version. So the definition, according to Webster, is a confidence and satisfaction in oneself. A confidence and satisfaction in oneself. Now, it sounds simple enough, right? You are confident and you are satisfied in yourself. But we all know that that is something that many of us struggle with, especially the ladies. Always talking to the ladies. And I think our struggle with self-esteem simply comes from listening to too many outside voices and not trusting our gut, not believing in who we know we are and who we say we are when we're talking to ourselves. We tend to outsource our self-esteem to husbands, boyfriends, children, bosses, coaches, mentors, friends, family, organizations that we might be a part of, places that we visit regularly. We outsource all of our self esteem to different people, places, and things when really self esteem is an inside job. Your self esteem has nothing to do with anyone or anything else but you. If you are struggling with maintaining your self esteem, meaning you are struggling with believing in yourself, being confident in yourself, thinking highly of yourself, that is probably because you are struggling with knowing and loving and appreciating yourself. So, I want to talk just a little bit about that this evening. So, when I say that self esteem, your self esteem is an inside job, what I'm essentially saying is it starts up here. Your self esteem is very mental. This is about your instincts, okay? All right. So let's start with your mental. You want to ask yourself, what do you think of yourself? If it's positive, great. If it's not positive, you want to get to the reasons that it's not positive. So let's start with thinking about how to rewire the thoughts that we have about ourselves. Your self esteem is an inside job. Your self esteem is coming from a space of what you think of you and nobody else and nothing else. One of the first things that I suggest, and I'm only coming from a space of my own personal experience. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not anyone's counselor. I'm just here just sharing some of my thoughts like rappers do. Only I'm not spitting bars. I'm just sharing just knowledge, okay? Based on my own experiences. In order to get to a place where you change your thoughts about yourself, I'm going to say something that's probably very contradictory to what you've been taught and what you think. In order to get to a place where you think highly of yourself, you are going to have to start thinking only of yourself. Let me get me some tea, right? And I'm going to let y'all sip on that. I'm going to need you to get to a place where you think of only yourself. And I know that's counterintuitive to how you've been trained and how you've been raised and what you hear daily. And especially if you're a mommy or if you're a wife or someone's partner or whatever, you think that you owe everybody everything except for yourself. This is what contributes to having a low self-esteem because you are not taking the time to think of only you. Look at my nails. My daughter did my nails earlier. Go, baby girl, Simone. God bless her in her ministries. Yes, because I know, right? If you don't get to a space where you start thinking of only you're going to be in a constant state of where you feel low about yourself because you're outsourcing your self-esteem to other people and other things, and really your self-esteem has nothing to do with them. Okay? The other thing I would like to encourage you to do is start getting in tune with your instincts. You know, those feelings that you have about how you want to be treated and how you, right? It's an esteem of self, right? Didn't Cat Williams say that? It's called self-esteem, esteem of self. Yes, yes. What was I going to say? Instinct. Get in touch with your instinct. When you feel like you aren't having an experience that is elevating you mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, I want you to get into the habit of actually listening to that. Listening to and feeling that feeling and then doing something about it. Because the other thing that gets in the way of your self-esteem is you not trusting yourself and trusting your instincts. You do things like, I really didn't like what that person said to me. I really didn't like what that person did to me. I really didn't like that experience I had. I didn't like that environment. I didn't even really like that place. But I'm sure it's probably not a big deal. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Yeah. It probably won't be okay. That relationship is probably going nowhere. That place is probably not good for you. And if you don't trust your instinct, you're going to be stuck there having negative experiences, and then you're going to be down on yourself about what's happening. Again, you're giving your self-esteem a beating. Get into the habit of trusting your instinct. If it don't feel right, it's not right for you. What's the first thing I said? You're going to have to get into the habit of thinking only about you. I catch flights often, and they always say, if anything goes down on the plane, God forbid, when those masks fall out the ceiling, they say, put your mask on first. They don't even tell you, oh, go save your baby or your man. They say, take care of yourself first. Okay? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just take care of yourself first. This is going to help to boost your self-esteem. This is going to help to elevate you to places you probably never thought you could be, because you're so busy people pleasing and saving other people but yourself. Save yourself. That's how you boost your self-esteem. Okay? The other thing I want to talk about regarding your self-esteem is your physical health and wellness. A lot of people don't feel good. And when you don't feel good, and I'm talking about on the inside out, I'm talking about health wise, I'm talking about physical fitness, I'm talking about your diet, your nutrition. A lot of times, because you don't even feel good, you're lethargic, you don't have energy. Maybe you're carrying a little bit more weight than you want to be. Right? Maybe you're clogging your pores with some of the choices that you're making, and you're causing your appearance to not be pleasing to you when you look in the mirror. That's going to be a shock to your self-esteem. See my cup? See that? Go ahead and embrace it. You're going to have to take care of yourself health-wise. Okay? This is what's going to help you to boost your self-esteem. When you feel good, and I mean when you have energy, okay? When you have energy, when you are pleased with your appearance, When you like how that outfit fits, I mean, and it's hitting every curve just right. Okay? When you are hair done, nails done, everything did, you feel good. That's a boost to your self esteem. And that's okay. Do that regularly, as often as possible before you do those kids' heads. I know somebody told you that you couldn't comb your hair because you had kids now. Let me tell you something, especially for the ones with little girls. You spend all that time combing their hair and then they go to school and they come back and it's all fuzzy and messed up. And you've sacrificed your own head and now you're walking out into the world feeling down on yourself and looking like because you didn't take care of you first. I need you to go ahead and lay them edges down before you put that comb in that baby's head. So then that way you can feel good about you. I want you to go ahead and start drinking more water. Go ahead, push away from the table if you have to. Find yourself a good nutrition plan. I got one if you're interested. And it works. Okay? Stop living day to day like you don't have options and you don't have answers to take care of yourself. Because when you take care of yourself, you boost your self esteem. Okay? It's I know, right? We don't feel like it a lot of times. We don't want to go to the gym. We don't want to walk. We want to listen. I know. I understand that there are certain foods, there are certain meals, there's just a certain experience, especially culturally, that some of us have that says clogged arteries, high blood pressure, and anything else is okay. It's not okay anymore. Stop doing that to yourself because when you make yourself sick and when you're not well, it is a shock to your self esteem. Notice how everything that I've read so far has to do with you and the choices that you make for yourself. It don't have anything to do with anybody else. Okay. I think another thing that helps to boost self-esteem is knowing what you are passionate about and flowing in your own lane. A lot of us have been sold various options about what we're supposed to do and who we're supposed to be as adults and how we're supposed to conduct ourselves, what kind of jobs we're supposed to have traditionally and how we're supposed to operate as parents and yada 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 blah 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 whatever. You better figure out your lane and flow in it unapologetically. Guess what this is going to require you to do? Back to number one, it's going to require that you think of only yourself. You got to know your lane. You got to know your passion. Don't walk in anybody else's shoes. They probably don't fit. And that is a shock to your self esteem. You out here trying to be great in a lane or do a job or do the kind of work or be the kind of wife or mother or whatever that somebody told you you were supposed to be and it doesn't fit. You know it doesn't fit, but you going to keep pushing and you don't feel good and you're unhappy with yourself. That's a shock to your self-esteem, baby. Stop doing that. There is something that you are very passionate about. There is something that makes your heart smile and your soul soar. There is something that you will probably just do for free. I don't recommend that. That's my sidebar. Don't do nothing for free. Okay. But your passion is what you would do for free. I'm just saying. Ecclesiastes 10:19. Pete game. All right. I'm just saying there's something that you are passionate about that you absolutely enjoy doing that's not even hard for you. That thing that you just do without even trying, you might want to figure out how to maximize what you're doing in that lane and capitalize on it. Serve the world, but do you. Don't do anybody else. Okay? Rock out in your passion, rock out in your lane. And the final thing that I want to talk about, and this is probably going to be most important, had to do with anchor. You want to focus on you first, but my final thought is you want to also make sure you forgive you every second of every hour of every day. We are very, very hard on ourselves because we want to be so perfect. We want to look the best and be the best and have all the nice toys and all the nice things. And we want our children to be picture perfect. And we want every little post on social media to be the best. And we just want to be all that we can be. And then if we drop the ball, we get really down on ourselves. And we really kick ourselves when we're already down. Hey, stop doing that. Every day is a new day. So when you wake up, choose to forgive yourself. Notice, I'm not talking about anybody else right now. Everything I said is all about you, this whole list. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for whatever mistake you think you've made. Notice I said think. Life is all a matter of perception, baby. It's all mental. Forgive yourself for the ball you think you dropped, that bridge you think you burned. You sure you burned a bridge, or did you clear a pathway for yourself to be great? Forgive yourself for the choice you made that put you in an awkward position. Forgive yourself for not, listening to a close family or a friend who really cared about you, who tried to steer you in a different direction, but you just had to figure out life on your own. Hey, a hard head makes a soft, you know what, but it's over. Forgive yourself. When you forgive yourself and you stop beating yourself up, that boosts your self-esteem. You're not perfect. You're never going to be perfect. So stop trying. Okay? See how that works? It's okay. It really is okay. It's over. It's over. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Whatever it is, whatever you think you did, whatever happened, whatever you said, whatever you wrote, if you caught some heat, if you were out of line, if you dropped the ball, let it go. Let it die with the 8-track, baby. It's over. All right? I want you to remember that your self-esteem is mental. Your self-esteem requires you to follow your instincts. Your self-esteem requires you to take care of your physical health from the inside out, right? Because this is an inside job. Your self-esteem requires that you know your purpose and flow in your lane. And your self-esteem requires that you forgive yourself every day, every second. You are in a constant state of oops. Try it out, especially for the ladies, especially because guess what? If you notice, men kind of do it all the time. They just go through life and go, oops, my bad, and keep it moving like nothing ever happened. I encourage you to do the same. Oops, like nothing ever happened. Forgive yourself. All right? Let's move on. Let's take care of ourselves. Before we go out the house in the morning, let's get them edges, get that makeup right. Go ahead and make sure we don't have dry scalps. Make sure we eat well. Okay? Make sure we are living on our purpose and flowing in our lane. Make sure we follow our instincts and make sure we put our oxygen mask on first. It's go time, baby.